Scapegoat with us, we had a song out that was like doing pretty well on the chart, and we'd like play a show in Monterey, or like I remember Monterey, there was like 100 people one night. We're like, this kind of sucks. And then the next night we were playing in Atlanta, and there's like 35,000 people. We were opening for Stain in Centennial Park, and it was like it's this roller coaster when you're going on that. You're like, oh man, one night you're kind of deflated, like, oh, I thought there'd be like 400 or 500 people here. There's only like 100, and we're playing in this pool hall. Like, what, I thought everything was going good. And then the next night you're like, this is the biggest show of my life I've ever played, And so it's a really weird thing when you jump into that like major label world, which is a whole other thing. But I don't know. I guess in sort of summary of that, I would say just have a good product, put on a good show, be consistent, really believe in what you're doing. And really try to get some believers behind you. Chico is an amazing place to like kind of just grow as a person. I feel like it's very non-judgmental. I would always say like we're gonna new song, let's play it in Chico first. There's a real contingent of like free thinkers here, and it goes to show like every summer the show's in the park, and it always goes off without a hitch. Rarely there's rarely any drama that goes down. It's a very like loving people. I was really surprised at how much people took to my music and my sound here. I was always really grateful for that. And that's one of the reasons that I always kept shouting Chico out. And years later, I was living in LA, but I was still making songs and little remixes of songs about Chico, because I owed a lot of my success to Chico. I owed a lot of my success to the people here, really kind of looking out for me and like making me feel like I was part of something important in the community. I really feel like overall Chico is a really special little place for how small it is and for where it is. And a lot of times I'm in LA, I'll say I'm from Chico. Oh, Chino? They think Chino, and I'm like, nah, man, not Chino, Chico. And then, and now we got, Sierra Nevada and Aaron Rodgers and some other calling cards, but there's other things linking it to it. But I really feel like, Chico's expanding, Chico's growing. I really feel like that this is a special place, and that there's going to be more like amazing things coming out of here. Chico is always going to be like my hometown, regardless of wherever I go in the world or wherever it takes me. This will always be my hometown, and I feel like once you live here, you want it to be your hometown. It feels like a hometown. There's very few places I've been that you could really say like, this would be my hometown, but Chico is my hometown.